Welcome to One Wild World, a podcast by The Echo. I'm your host, Matthew Juneau, president and founder of The Echo Film, a 501c3 nonprofit on a mission to educate the public all about animals and to raise support and awareness for the work being done with animals. My personal background and expertise is in human-animal interactions and education. Here with me today is the editor of the podcast, Mike Davis.
Hey, Matthew, and hello, listeners. My name is Mike. I'm a co-founder and director of media production at The Echo, and my education background is in restoration ecology. The majority of my work experience has been in audio and video production, and I've had a lot of fun editing this podcast.
Yeah, and it's something that to fulfill our mission, we thought would be really valuable to start this podcast as a platform for guests who work with animals to share the work that they do with animals and talk about the value of that work. Throughout the season, you'll get a front row seat to our conversations with scientists, wildlife rehabilitators, rangers, educators, and more.
I can't wait to see what sorts of social media conversations are started by this first season. Every single guest was super passionate and knowledgeable about the animals that they work with, and the conversations were stimulating as a result of that. While this podcast is our newest big project, The Echo has really been around since 2015, and we've evolved in so many different ways since then.
Yeah, I remember the initial idea grew naturally from our education at Colorado State University, where we met in a natural resource class. And then that following summer, we both happened to attend a summer class at the Mountain campus as part of CSU, and our friendship really grew during that time.
We both definitely saw a lot of potential for collaboration early on in our friendship. I remember all the inside jokes we had that summer and the many fellow students we were able to connect with as well. So much fun. But in terms of being natural resources students together, it was generally understood that you don't really get into this line of work to get rich. You get paid in different ways, having opportunities to do important work in beautiful landscapes, immersed in wildland ecosystems, and observing cool wildlife behaviors.
Exactly. Often this type of work is underfunded, and a huge reason for that is lack of public awareness on the benefits of this work and the risks of ignoring our effects on the natural world. So we started to brainstorm on how to boost awareness of people and the organizations that do important work. And that's when the idea of an educational video platform developed.
Yeah, and it was such a natural development of this idea because I already had a pretty decent camera at the time. So we were basically working with all the tools that we needed. We had the passion, the knowledge, and the equipment to start this video platform. So through the Natural Resources School at CSU, we were able to turn this idea into an independent study, which allowed us to start our journey under the oversight of the school and earn college credit at the same time, which provided us a lot of momentum for us to continue this pursuit after our graduation. In the following years, we associated with a lot of different people and organizations that either did work directly with animals or adjacent topics like conservation and nature-based education. These learning experiences helped us develop our philosophy as an organization, but we quickly discovered that it's quite difficult to secure funding for the kinds of projects that we really wanted to work on.
Yeah, so with this knowledge, we were deciding between becoming a business and becoming a nonprofit. And I remember us taking the idea of making these videos to organizations and then being really excited to make these videos. And we kind of laid out what the ballpark cost for the video was. And immediately they had to kind of back up a little bit because they didn't have these huge budgets. And the budget that they had needed to go towards their existing mission. So at that point, we started to consider becoming a nonprofit. And then COVID happened, which provided a lot of space and time to research and apply for 501c3 nonprofit status. We were accepted, and now that we're established as a nonprofit, our mission is twofold. So the first is helping support others in the animal community, and the second is creating our own educational content to raise awareness, appreciation, and respect for all animals.
Yeah, I love that two-pronged approach because it creates a positive feedback loop. We create our own educational content, and then that raises awareness and appreciation for animals. And in turn, it helps support people in the animal community. Then we're able to create content for them. And then the cycle recycles. It just keeps going and going and going. So, after becoming an established nonprofit, we were now able to plan and execute fundraising events. The first fundraiser we did was an educational live stream and auction for the animals on Earth Day in 2021. This annual fundraiser has become a tradition for us, and it's provided us the resources that we need to pursue the Echo's mission more effectively every single year.
Yeah, in addition to fundraising, the nonprofit status has enhanced our network of partnerships with important collaborators, including animal sanctuaries, scientists, artists, conservation organizations, wildlife agencies, and even animal themed festivals. One cool thing that we have noticed in the creation of our video content and podcast is that the people who work with animals are so supportive of all of the work that's done, even outside their own projects. And almost every time we have these conversations and they're wrapping up, guests are suggesting other people for us to get in contact with and highlight.
Exactly. The Echo's mission is something that everyone can get behind. And every new episode breeds new collaborations among the people that work with animals.
And that's why I'm so excited for our listeners to be part of that journey. Through One Wild World, you'll learn all about the unique ways that humans interact with animals, how animals interact with each other, and the wonderful things we can learn from those interactions. Every episode also has concrete ways for you to support the people who work with animals. So, on behalf of all animals, join us as we host these important conversations and build one wild world. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this conversation, subscribe and consider supporting us directly at patreon.com/onewildpodcast. Here, you'll find exclusive content, like the full video versions of our conversations. To find out more about the other work we do, visit our website at onewildpodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram at @theechoanimals and follow our TikTok at creature.feature.